I'd already had a trip to Bali booked in for my girlfriend's birthday when this swell popped up onto the radar. In order to stay out of the doghouse, the plan was simple. Go somewhere close to Bali and get there and back in the most convenient way possible. Naturally, Desert Point came to mind. And after a few messages, I managed to wrangle Buddha's boat and a few crew to head over there with me for a couple of days. We set off early in the morning after I'd flown in that night and had about 2 hours sleep. We knew there was a fair bit of energy around when we saw Lombongan's Manta Ray snorkeling location with about 4-foot waves into the cliff. I'm sure they'd be sending their tours out there soon. We swung into a little bay around the corner from Deserts and unloaded our stuff while we waited for a ride over the hill. We had a lot of boards and one vehicle.
Holy shit. Are these gonna fall off?
So we set off on Indonesia's most beautifully paved road. Until it wasn't. And yes, the boards did fall off. Once we got over the hill, we pulled into our accom, and this is what we were greeted with. We couldn't get into the water quick enough. But as soon as I got into the water, I started to realise that the swell was almost too big for the reef. A lot of shouldery, fat burgers with the occasional fun little barrel. First wave, same as always, trying to get rid of the cobwebs, which it seems like there were a lot of. Ballina Bar and Marine Adventure Zone Angus.
Is that Angus?
Yeah.
No, not Angus.
With a near make. Not sure who this is, but some people are just naturally really stylish when they surf.
That's our boy.
On my second wave, I got slammed into the reef pretty hard and had to take 5 on the sidelines. But after that, I managed to sneak into this fun little wave. Deserts is a really difficult wave to surf. It's really difficult to know when to speed up and when to slow down. The takeoff at the start is also very easy, which means you have a lot more people competing for waves that usually wouldn't be having a crack. Phoenix Graham getting a nice washy one before dodging some boards on the inside.
Got it now.
At this point, it was pretty clear the waves are way too big for the reef. Tommy Snellgrove on an absolute mutant of a washy set with a terrifying guillotine coming for him at the end. So I decided to come in, let the swell settle and hopefully get a few good ones in the Arvo sesh. But the break didn't last very long. There's only so many good waves you can watch before you have to get back out there. When the sets rolled through, it was wave after wave after wave. But with an 18-second swell period, the lulls would be equally as long. One thing I found about deserts is it's one of the most difficult waves to read on your backhand and forehand. So many people struggled with the pacing of the wave, especially on this end section. After a few warm-up waves, I decided I wanted to try a different board and bring the GoPro out, which I'd soon find out was a massive mistake. And while I was on the beach, Phoenix got the biggest barrel I'd seen all trip. And self-named local legend Blackie, showing everyone else how it's done. Copped a proper flogging for being too deep on my first wave.
God damn it.
But it's always amazing seeing people get good waves when you're paddling back out, especially how well this wave was navigated with the chandelier coming at him. And with how busy it was, there's always going to be a little bit of argy-bargy in the water. And here it is, probably one of the best waves I paddled into all day. And I don't exactly know why I blew this wave so hard. Was it the lack of sleep, the distraction from the GoPro, or just not having put enough wax on my board? I'll leave that up to you to decide. And if blowing one wave wasn't enough for me to lose enough sleep over, I really feel like I blew this one. You can see here that I'm distracted by the GoPro and in between two minds of what I should be doing, racing or grabbing the rail. Over the years, I've always been my own harshest critic and never give myself a break, but I read something interesting the other day, in that the best athletes are the ones that give themselves a break for making mistakes. Calling myself an athlete may be a little bit of a stretch, but I finished the session on a high with a fun vision, followed by a good mate getting a beautiful ride behind me, with the forecast holding strong into the next day.
Yeah, boy.
Genuinely think I had probably the worst display of backhand barrel riding I've ever done this Arvo. I'm actually so rattled because two waves I had were pretty special. Tomorrow's going to be pumping. Let's got to get a good one tomorrow.
We woke the next morning on our bedbug-ridden beds to the forecast, in fact, not holding strong. But there was still a ton of fun waves to be had. Here's Solly Bailey threading a beautiful ride with pretty much perfect technique and timing. This is so difficult to do and he makes it look so easy. A few little consolation barrels, but the swell was dropping before our very eyes. Blackie and I trading one of the last sets that came through for the day before the ocean went just about flat. "36 hours, minimal sleep, it's flat, and it's home time." A ton of fun waves, good crew, and it was time to head back to Bali. Needless to say, everyone was feeling a little bit cooked and ready to tuck into some beers and a good night's rest. If you made it this far into the video, just know that I appreciate you so much. The length that you watch the videos is what really helps push the videos. Other than that, if you can leave a like, a comment, and hit the subscribe button, that always goes a long way in helping me out as well. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.